What's going on, everybody? My name is Justin and welcome to part 2. Today I want to talk about the artists who inspire me, and hopefully after this video you guys can look their work up and it can inspire you the same way it has me. Some of these artists I know, some of these artists I don't. Either way it goes, let's get into it. Man, oh man, I've been feeling so overwhelmed with all the things that I'm doing in my life and all this other stuff that's going on. For those of you who don't know me personally, I'm getting married soon, and it is really difficult to plan a wedding. So yeah, I understand why they pay a lot of people to do this for them, because yeah, it is a difficult time. On top of that, I have a 9-to-5. I don't draw for a living. One day I wanted to talk about the artists that inspire me. Some of these people I know, some of these people I don't, and I look at their work and I'm just like, wow. It's just certain aspects of their work that makes me love it. Just makes me feel like, holy crap, I can see a little bit of what direction I want to go in. And then like going into the whole mindset of great artists, good artists borrow, great artists steal. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yeah, just going into that is just what I want to do. Is I want to talk about 4 artists who inspire me, and the first person I want to start off with is LeSean Thomas. LeSean Thomas. I've been following that dude's work from old DeviantArt days. I've been following his stuff. Early Cannon Busters art on Deviant that he's posted. Early following of this dude. I remember reaching out to him one time and he actually hit me back, and this was around the time the Boondocks was going on. He basically was telling me to take from other artists and be inspired by what makes me want to draw and what makes me want to do what I do. Just him hitting me back really gave me inspiration. This man has worked on Ben 10. He's worked on the Boondocks. He's worked on Black Dynamite. He's just one of the people that inspires me a lot. From his work to his attitude, from his TED talk that he did about failing and failure, like everything this dude has done has inspired me to push even harder for myself to one day end up doing what I love for a living. Thank you, LeSean, for being the person that you are and allowing us to see the journey that you're on, and just being real flashy about it.
I'm just gonna be me and always try and, push and be flashy.
The next person I want to talk about, I studied under him for a while, and his name is Dane Henry. Dane is one of the people that I've always felt was a true inspiration to me, because he helped me with a lot of aspects of my art. He helped me see a lot of things. He had a business back in the day called Attraction Industries, and I walked into there looking for floor mats for my car, thinking that this place was a floor mat place, because some guy was like, yeah, just go down the street over there, there's a shop next to there, and I think they do floor mats, because I wanted some like custom floor mats that like said my name in them. As luck would have it, they didn't do floor mats. What they did was like business cards, marketing, all this other stuff. Dane was an in-house artist at the time. All of a sudden I see artwork in like this little room. I'm like looking around and I'm like, oh, there's an artist in here. And this was when I was like a lot younger, and everybody had gassed me up about being an artist and told me how great my art was, and so I was like gassed up. I was like on a art high, and I was just walking in there like, oh, he draws. Okay, all right. So I like walked in there thinking that it was gonna be one of those I'm gonna show this guy. I talked to the guy, I was like, hey, you guys do floor mats? And he was like, no, we don't do floor mats, we do like business cards, marketing, stuff like that. And his name was Glenn. What's up, Glenn? And I was like, is there an artist in here, or? And he's like, oh yeah, that's Dane's office. He's our in-house artist for what we do. And I'm like, is it all right if I come back and show him some of my stuff? Thinking, yeah, he's gonna love this art. He's gonna love what I do. He's gonna tell me, oh man, you're so great. He's like, yeah, you can come back. He's here on Tuesdays. You can come back, you know. I go home. I draw some stuff up in my little mind. I draw some stuff up, and then I come back on a Tuesday. And Dane's there, he's sitting in his office. I say hi to Glenn again. I'm like, hey man, how's it going? I just came back to talk to your artist and everything like that. And he's like, oh yeah, he's in there. And I knock on the door. Don't know him, by the way. I didn't know him at the time. Didn't know him at all. And I'm like, knocking on the door. You know. I'm like, hey, how's it going, man? I had my little folder with me, you know what I mean? Went out to Walmart and bought me a little folder. Young and dumb. Young and completely dumb. I go in there, I'm like, hey man, how's it going? And I turn and I see this piece he had did on the wall, and my mind melted. Like, my mind literally was like, oh my god. You know what I mean? My face was like, ugh. Young and dumb. Young and completely dumb. And it was a pretty big piece too. And it was incredible. I remember it being the most incredible shit I've ever seen. And I clutched my bag. I clutched my folder a little bit harder. Like, no one needs to see this. No one needs to see this. I didn't know art could be this fucking good. That was before me being on DeviantArt. That was before me even understanding that there was an art community online. I was just smelling my own farts, drawing in my room, watching anime, thinking that I was like some of the coolest shit ever. And I'm looking at this guy's art and I'm like, oh god, no. And he's like, hey man, he's like totally cool too. Like, he's like a really cool guy, and he's like totally fucking cool. And he's like, hey man, how's it going? And I'm like, yeah, how's it going, man? I was just wondering, you do art in here? Yeah, I just wanted to show you some art. And he's like, oh yeah, cool, man. You can just show me some of your art. He's like, you got it with you? Is that it right there? And he points at the bag, and I clutch it, and I'm like, oh god, no. And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, should I lie to him? Should I tell him no? Should I be like, no, this is some paperwork that I had to do for my taxes or something like that. Like, but for the most part, yeah, I was like, yeah, this is some of the stuff that I have to do, you know, some of the stuff that I was doing a little bit ago when I had done them the night before. And I told him, oh, it was a while back. Yeah, I was just bringing some old stuff in, man. Put it on the desk. I'm gonna set it on there, and he's like thumbing through it, and he's like being so gracious about it. It's like, oh, this is some good stuff. Yeah, this is some good stuff. You got something here. You have a very distinctive style. And the whole time I'm thinking, he's lying. Look at what he has done. And I'm still looking at that thing on the wall, like, oh god. And he's thumbing through my stuff, and I'm like, oh god. I kept coming to the shop, and we became friends after that. I'm pretty sure sometimes I would come in and Dane was like, oh, this guy needs to go home. I even like took my computer there at one point to draw. I ended up interning for them for 2 years, not that long, but it felt like an eternity because all I did after my 9 to 5, I stopped at the shop and I drew. As for Dane, not only was he my mentor, but he was a person who inspired me to work really, really hard. And he was teaching me what he knew, and he was teaching me the things that he understood about art, and I was just trying to soak in as much information at that period of time. So Dane is one of the, I would actually say Dane is probably one of the most influential artists. Dane, thank you. I appreciate everything you putting up with me coming through the shop like every day and just sharing your knowledge with me, man. Like, it meant a lot to help me grow as an artist. Every artist that I mentioned will be in the description below, and I will put their work down for you guys to pick it up and just admire. The next person I want to talk about is Trent Kanuda. This guy, sometimes I just watch his videos just to like hear him like talk, cause like the way that he like talks in his videos is like very entertaining. He's doing a lot of stuff right now for Sketchbook Pro, and he's dropping a few gems. Like, I was like, I didn't know Sketchbook Pro could do that. There's a lot of things in Sketchbook Pro that I didn't know Sketchbook Pro could actually do. And I was like, oh wow, like I might as well go get some Sketchbook Pro, like, and learn that. His style of painting is so inspiring because there's so much detail in his work. And there's so much life and character. And for those of you who don't know Trent Kanuda, he's worked on Diablo 3, he's worked on World of Warcraft, he's worked on Masters of the Universe. This man has done a lot of things, from Twilight Monk, which is his original book. You guys can pick that up from his Gumroad. I'll put that in the description below. And the reason he inspires me is because he wants to teach people and he wants to show people like, hey man, you can do it too. If I'm doing it, you can do it too. And that inspires me on so many levels, because I haven't even met the guy, but I did reach out on Twitter and he did tweet me back. When stuff like that happens to me, I reach out to an artist and they actually talk to me back. It's like, I won the lottery. I happened across Trent's YouTube channel by searching other people's channels. A recommended thing came up, and it was like, I recommend this. And I happened to look at the little thumbnail that was on there. There's so much information in this like small little thumbnail. It was like a super small little thumbnail, and it was like so much information in it. So I clicked it, like, bloop. As I started to watch the video, it was like this mellow voice. And I was like, wait, okay, who is this? And I'm watching him draw Mao from his Twilight Monk series, and he's drawing so much detail from like the kunai that he had in there. He was like ninja-esque, and that's right up my alley. Like kung fu and anything kung fu, samurai champloo, whatever. That is like, that's for me. I was like, this is for me. Before I committed though, before I committed to that little red rectangular button, I was like, let me watch some other stuff that he has going on. Because you know, you don't want to commit, and he's that type of YouTuber that doesn't have too many videos like myself. You don't really want to too much commit, you know, because you're like, how much does he update? I don't want to get hooked and then season 2 doesn't come out. For the most part, I clicked another video and I saw that the artwork expanded. Like, that was just one thing that he was doing, but it expanded. Like, it just took another shape and another form of like, wow, he's doing things that I didn't even think to really do when it comes to detailing my work. It actually blew my mind that his work was very much so in the direction that I want to go. From a lot of artists, they told me, don't get caught up in the details, try to complete it fast. And I'm pretty sure that's how the industry works, and that's how they work in the industry. But as a person who's never worked in the industry, it confused me. Like, okay, how is this guy right here drawing all this badassery and he's keeping up with his details? He's keeping up with his line work, and line work is something I love to do. And I'm not talking about just myself noodling. I'm talking about like getting in there and being more in depth with your artwork to add that character, to add that story to your work. And I noticed that a lot of artists don't get caught up in the line work, but Trent did, and I think that's what really made me engage in his work. He actually took time to do the line work, and then when he colored it, it just made it a style of his own. And that's what made me truly feel that was for me. So I I clicked that little rectangular button. I was like, sold. Trent Kanuda, check out his work. Check out the Twilight Monk series. Check out just his tutorials on YouTube. Check out his speed paints on YouTube. Just dig into his YouTube channel. It is a lot of information there. Even if it's a speed paint, he talks about being in the industry. He talks about a lot of stuff that can help you as an artist understand what you're getting into. He gives you a perspective on working for the industry. He really does. And it's not a negative perspective either. It's a really positive perspective. He will tell you some of the pitfalls, but at the same time, it's a very positive outlook, and it's a very, hey, you can do this attitude. And I appreciate artists like Trent for sharing that. The next, last but not least artist that I want to talk about is Syd Mills. She is, goodness gracious, when it comes to artwork, I swear to you, you can take this to the bank. You can take this to the bank. She is incredible. I will link you down, and you will feast your eyes on some glorious work that will make your mind go, I have to get better now. I remember I was burning myself at both ends and working 7 hours a day on art. I did this for a year. All through 2016, I was burning myself at both ends trying to become a better artist. If any of you have been watching my YouTube channel, I want to tell you guys I have been painting for a year. That's it. Maybe like a year and some change actually. Because I did a few like earlier paintings and I gave up on it, and I was like, painting isn't for me. But more and more I started to realize that painting is a requirement when it comes to wanting to do what I want to get into. That's character design. For the most part, Syd, I congratulate you on those skills. I remember bumping into her Instagram, and her work is a feast for the eyes. I looked her up. I'm not gonna make this weird. I'm talking accents when I get nervous. I tried to find like a Twitter or a Facebook or something, and I couldn't. And I must have not been searching correctly, or Instagram is just the media she's currently on. Incredible work. From the painting to the lighting to the girls she draws to the colors she experiments with. She uses these faceted like neon colors sometimes. I remember this painting that she did that had a girl with like glowing hair, and it was just like, what the heck, man? Do you have a special edition of Photoshop that none of us have? What brushes do you use? What type of brushes do you use? Like, it just made me like really wonder, like, how do you get that type of technique into your paintings? And it just inspired me to do more. I remember reaching out to her on Instagram. I told her that I'm very like sensitive about my work, and I want to know how to get better, and if she had any advice. She spoke to me for a while about it, asking me what area do I want to go into, what's my end game. She just had nothing but good stuff to say, and I appreciate stuff like that. To be able to admire the artist's work and then actually interact with the artist, and they're genuinely cool people. It just makes it all the more better. Like, more better. I mean, it's more better. It's like bad English. More better. It just makes the experience better. Thank you, Syd, for helping me out and taking the time and giving me a bit more direction. It's great to receive that type of camaraderie. For all the 4 people that I've mentioned in this video, I've actually gotten to talk to, I can honestly say that all 4 of them are great people, and they're great artists, and they inspire me. If you guys like this video and you guys like the artist, definitely subscribe. Leave a comment down below on which artists that you think are inspirational to you and inspirational to your work, and who you steal from. The artists who you borrow from, steal from, rob. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later.
So